How's it going, everybody? We are actually out here in an alleyway in Koreatown in Los Angeles. We are testing the Helios lens and see how it renders out on videos or pictures, and see how it looks on artificial light, ambient light in the city. And so we came out here and to shoot in an alleyway, see if we can capture anything cool. We were out in parking spaces, industrial places, to see how the lens rendered out. So here's some samples from what we did this evening. So the outcome from our test, when I first saw this lens, I saw some cool effects online. Majority of the samples were from daylight during the daytime, and I wanted to see if I can create any kind of effects like that in the evening. So the idea for this test is to see what the quality of the lens looks like and what results I will get. It is a relatively sharp lens. It comes out cooler in a majority of the output. Because it is a manual lens, there are certain things that I found quite challenging. I used an old DSLR camera, so I wanted to know what my restrictions were in regards to this lens. Now, if I would have shot it with a lot more modern camera, I'm sure I would have gotten a lot more detail, a lot more light sensitive sensor, but I wanted to see what the restrictions are on older cameras. So I shot with a Canon 5D Mark II, which is relatively about 10 plus years old, and I wanted to see what I came out with. We used one LED light, and just to kind of give that extra frontal lighting, underneath lighting, so that way I'm not too dark, and see how we can create that bokeh effect if we use a certain space, for instance a parking lot with walls with ambient lighting, to see if any of that might create that circular bokeh. But you have to pay attention to the distance of the subject versus the background, and what type of material, if it's gonna create that circular bokeh. The differences between shooting this lens with video and still images: first off, if you expose the image properly, the lens renders out pretty nicely. So if you got good lighting and you expose it nicely, it comes out really good. Obviously, video will have some restrictions when you start doing editing on it and post, compared to still images. You have a lot more control with still images, and you can manipulate in so many ways and make it pop even more. So I am not a professional editor on video, nor am I a colorist. So, but I try my best and see what I can manipulate within those videos. And so far, I mean, the quality is okay on the video side of it. And ultimately, I did not get that full bokeh effect to that circular that I was looking for, but I did get a nice bokehs on certain shots. Then again, our testing was only like one night and in certain locations, but I think given different circumstances, we could probably achieve the look of that circular if you find the right background, if you find the right distance from the subject to the background. And I believe that is one of the challenges that I was struggling with the most most when using this lens is finding that right sweet spot from subject to the background, and what type of background makes a huge difference. And so that makes me somewhat happy with the lens. Yes, it is a cheap lens. There is some restrictions to it, but you do have to work a little bit more to try and get that greater quality into the image. It's not just a point and shoot and you'll have this great results. You do have to know what you're looking at, especially with lighting, the subject, and in the background. And I hope this helps out in some ways, and hopefully we'll do future tests even further with this lens, and do some testing in other different scenarios. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. If you have any comments, comment below, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.